So, what format of security guarantees has Europe ultimately chosen together? In which specific document should they be formalized? Will it be signed by each of the countries, or does it need to be ratified by parliaments in order for the guarantees to be legislatively secured and irreversible, and work for many years ahead? Also, please clarify regarding the support from European partners at this moment, when Putin has intensified massive attacks on Ukraine and while preparations for winter are underway. We understand that he could also use this factor. Regarding air defense support, are there any new decisions? Can we hope for increased assistance in this matter?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. 35 countries are taking part. This is the widest representation of all countries in the coalition of the willing. 26 countries support security guarantees for Ukraine in various formats. The structure of the complete security guarantees today, we will not discuss, but the main elements are understood. A strong Ukrainian army, domestic production, and European production, which I mentioned, need to be expanded. It is also very important for strengthening the Ukrainian army, and also, the possibility and various programs for purchasing scarce weapons, primarily air defense and anti-ballistic missiles from the USA. These are key elements for strengthening our army. I would not repeat some of the things President Macron said. It is also clear that this is not a reduction or limitation of the Ukrainian army. Furthermore, regarding the actual defenses from partners, there is a multi-element infrastructure. Above all this presence, we have agreed that there will be a presence. I am not ready to say in numbers yet, although, to be honest, we already have. We share among ourselves, we understand the approximate number of those who have already agreed. And the presence, as I said, is varied. It's in the air, at sea, and on land. We are also discussing issues that, in my opinion, we will still be to discuss. This is America's backstop. We want to rely on it. We are very grateful that America supports and is part of security guarantees for Ukraine. As for the format, I am not yet ready to go into more detail. To tell you. Although, again, some elements are already clear to us. This is an important takeaway from our meeting, in my opinion. Many things are becoming clear. And this is, so to speak, supported by reality, not only morally, but truly supported, that of the Ukrainians, our military, our population. Ukraine will have real effective security guarantees. We also discussed the political format today, that besides the military security guarantee, there is also a political format, which we will talk about later. Regarding air defense, basically, at the end of my speech, I said we are considering one format. We shared it today. We talked about it in detail yesterday with Emmanuel, talked for the first time about such a format. Today we shared it with partners. After? We shared it with President Trump. If we receive a positive signal from the USA, because technically a lot in this new air defense format depends on them. If we receive a positive signal from them, we will be happy to share this information.
When President Zelensky says that 26 countries, we are talking about 35 countries in the coalition, and 26 have very formally their contribution clearly. And the document we have today is a document of military planning, where 26 heads, general staffs, and the Minister of Defense confirmed what they were ready to do, depending on their capabilities. Today we will continue this work. We will finalize it with President Trump to see what support the American side can provide, further monitoring, security. And after this there will be the issue of formalizing political texts, namely preparing a lasting peace and obtaining a multilateral agreement and bilateral support agreements. A few months ago we signed bilateral agreements within the framework of NATO summits. So, there has already been engagement, solidarity, and support. The strength of what we are doing today is that we are going much further. This is military planning, which already provides details of our contributions to support the Ukrainian army and guarantee forces. These are operational forces, and we will be working on the legal and political formalization of these documents with the aim of achieving sustainable peace.
Why can't you say, for example, how many people, how many men and women there will be, what mission? Very specifically, we heard statements from other countries, and many were waiting for American support before engaging themselves. And I understood that regarding the statement on August 18th, nothing has changed. What commitments did President Trump make a few minutes ago? And today, Mr. President Zelensky, the 1st of August has already passed. Do you believe that a meeting between you and Putin is still possible? And if so, where exactly?
To achieve sustainable peace, part of the security guarantees. So, there is no doubt about this.
This has been said, including publicly, by President Trump. It has been reiterated by the Secretary of State at the Defense during the ad hoc meetings and by all. Now, it is the planning work that will be finalized with the United States in the context of what I have just told you. The second element of the answer that I wanted to bring to your question is that I am not going to give you the details here because we have no desire to discover ourselves. What is important is that in the format, and we did not even share it with each other earlier, we all saw it with our own eyes, because our chiefs of staff, our defense ministers, in very secure formats, have done so. Why? Because it is our line of defense today and that of Ukraine. And so, we are not going to reveal the details of our organization to Russia. Rather, ask Mr. Putin about the troops he is massing at the border or what he is mobilizing. So, I will not give you the details. What is important is that our long-term chiefs of staff have exchanged their coordinates and that we have this planning. So, it is there. And it is not just a petition of principle. It is a robust planning with resources in all capacities that are ready to be deployed. And this is the case for the 26 contributing states that have already given the details. We do not want and do not accept the suspension of the Budapest Memorandum, just as we do not accept the Minsk agreements. Therefore, we want legally binding security guarantees, which means that they need to be voted on in the parliaments of the respective countries. As for the meeting is necessary. It's not about desire, it's needed. We supported both trilateral and bilateral meetings in any format. I believe that Russia is doing everything to delay. The American partners told us that Putin invited me to Moscow. I believe that if you want the meeting not to happen, you should invite me to Moscow. Therefore, I think that Russia starting to talk about a meeting is already not bad, but so far we do not see their desire to end the war. And meetings, I believe, are grown up. Leaders from a meeting of such a level should come out with some results. Preferably the end of the war.
Я вважаю, що, знаєте, як коли
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.